1.
Welcome to the June 17th, 2025 meeting of the Gary Common Council. As is our custom, we will start with prayer led by Councilman Darren Washington.
Thank you, Madam President. Let us pray. Dear Lord Heavenly Father, allow the words of our mouth, the meditations of our heart, Lord, let them be acceptable in your sight for the betterment of Gary, Indiana. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Brown. Councilwoman Caldwell.
Present.
Councilman Halliburton.
Present.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Present.
Councilman Tolliver. Councilman Washington.
Present.
Councilman Winston.
Present.
Councilman Williams. President Latham.
Present.
Madam President, there are seven present, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. With 7 present and 2 absent, the Gary Common Council has a quorum to do business in the city of Gary. Colleagues, is there a motion to approve the minutes of our previous meeting?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Brown. Yes. Councilwoman Caldwell.
Yes.
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Winston.
Yes.
President Latham.
Yes.
Madam President, voted 7-0.
With a vote of 7-0, our minutes from the previous meeting have been accepted. Council pending ordinances and resolutions on first reading.
CPR 2025-5, a resolution in support of declaring June as Men's Health Month in the city of Gary, Indiana, sponsored by Linda Barnes Caldwell, Councilwoman of the 5th District.
Boards and commissions.
Madam President, ends assignment of pending ordinances and resolutions.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell.
Madam President, boards and commissions has before it CPR 2025-05. For the record, I approve this for reporting out. Councilwoman Brown? Yes. Madam President, a majority of the committee approved CPR 2025-05 for reporting out.
Thank you, Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell.
Boards and commissions would like to report out CPR 2025-05.
Thank you, Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell. Any colleagues for special and select? Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell.
Good evening. Please join the 5th District for a community forum Thursday, June the 26th at 5:30. We have a new location this month. We will be at the new North Shore Health Center's 2200 Grant Street. Our special guest, we will have a speaker speaking on men's health, and we will do a tour of the building. So, if you're not doing anything, please come out and visit the North Shore Health Center at 2200 Grant Street. That's Thursday, June the 26th at 5:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell. Any other members for special and select? Councilwoman Ivy.
Good evening. 16 weeks of summer in the 4th District, Ironwood Pavilion, July 2nd, Wednesday, 3 to 6 p.m. Please join us. Thank you, Madam President.
Sure. Thank you, Councilwoman Ivy. Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell.
16 weeks of summer. Please come out and meet me, Councilwoman Linda Barnes Caldwell, Wednesday, June the 25th at 3 p.m. The 5th District's 16 weeks will kick off at Roosevelt Park Pavilion, 2145 Harrison Street. That's Wednesday, June the 25th at 3 p.m. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members for Special and Select?
Madam
Councilman
President.
Halliburton.
Good evening. I'd just like to bring attention to the 2nd District. We will have our 2nd District meeting July 10th at the library. We're going to be discussing our jewel parks, which is Brunswick, and also our abandoned schools in the city of Gary in the 2nd District. So please pass the word out. July 10th at 5 to 7 at the library. Thank you very much, President.
Thank you, Councilman Halliburton. Any other colleagues, Special and Select?
Madam President,
Councilwoman Brown.
I have a comment. Yeah, is this where we expect people in the city of Gary to come and pay their bills? Is out here and there is no way for them to get here? I feel very offended by that. People, they had an office on Broadway. People could catch public transportation, go down and pay their bill. And now you've moved them way out here where many people don't even know where this place is. And I just think that it's ridiculous. And so I wanted to make that comment. That's my comment for today. Okay. Because it's not right. They don't have any way to, many of them don't have any way to get out here. And why would you move the office from Broadway out here when people need to pay their bill?
Thank you, Councilwoman Brown. Our Chief of Staff, Ellis Dumas, is here, and during the report to the reports questions of city officials, I'm going to ask that he address that concern as far bill payment to GSD and this accessibility. Okay. So you can address that during that section of the meeting. Thank you. And thank you, Councilwoman Brown. Any other members for Special and Select? Well, it's June. I would like to take this opportunity. We try to recognize our monthly birthdays. For the month of June, we have our Chief of Staff, LaShawn Brooks, is celebrating her birthday. So happy birthday, LaShawn Brooks. Also on Tuesday, June 24th at 5 p.m. here at the Gary Sanitary District, we'll be hosting our Air Pollution Central Advisory Committee meeting. We'll be talking about the health impacts of steel mill pollution. If anybody got a chance to catch the CBS special that aired last week, the young lady who was featured in that special, Beryl Fitzpatrick, will be our special guest for the meeting, and we'll have a discussion about how steel mill pollution actually impacts the health of our residents. Again, that's Tuesday, June the 24th at 5 p.m. here at the Gary Sanitary District. Also on the same day, beginning at 6 p.m., here in the same place, we'll be hosting our Parks, Recreation, and Culture Committee meeting. We'll be discussing our district park updates, Marquette Park and beach management, and summer programming and operations. Again, that's Tuesday, June 24th at 6 p.m. here at the Sanitary District. If there aren't any other members for Special and Select, we'll now have public comment. We have 6 people signed up to speak. Just a reminder of our rules and practices. You get 2 minutes to speak. Our parliamentarian, Councilwoman Linda Barnes Caldwell, is keeping the time. Please try to adhere to the 2-minute rule. This isn't a question and answer period. You may have questions, you may ask questions, but the council at this time won't be answering any questions. Our Chief of Staff is here. There's also staff from our city departments that are here who can collect your questions and give you more information at a later date. Many times, a lot of these questions need additional follow-up. When you get to the mic, please remember to hit the button so that the green light comes on so that not only we can hear you, but also those who are watching us online can hear you as well. With that, we'll start with, I think that's Denia Williams. Please state your name and address for the record, and again, 2 minutes to speak. Next is Gervonta Carter, and Jocelyn, the podium is right here to my right. and Jocelyn Kelly. You all can begin making your way to the podium. Welcome, Ms. Williams.
My name is Denia Williams, and I'm a landlord at 1120 Pierce Street here in Gary. I'm here tonight because the conditions of the property surrounding mine directly is impacting my ability to protect and manage my property responsibility. The address 1124 Pierce is a vacant, deteriorating property with a deceased owner listed as TJ Stronger with a Chicago mailing address. This property went into tax sale back in 2006 and has been neglected ever since. Currently, the property is on tax sale for unpaid taxes. On March the 20th, a large tree from that property fell into my yard, and now the debris and structure itself is falling onto my side, as well as creating a serious hazard. The property at 1128 Pierce Street has recently been purchased in March, but yet has no improvement being made. It's continually sitting in poor conditions. Because of these hazards, my insurance company dropped me, refusing to renew my policy. I've done everything right as a landlord, maintaining my property, housing tenants, following all the rules, and yet I'm still penalized for the neglect that is completely out of my control. I have been advised to reach out to the owner at 1124, but we all know the individual is deceased. So why should I take the time out to reach out to someone that is no longer here? I'm asking for a solution. What can be done to help the responsibility? To help me as a landlord who would be forced to bear the consequences, which making me forced to bear the consequences of what's going on at that property.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Next, we have Gervonta Carter.
You hear me? All right. Thank y'all, City Council, for being here. I had 3 public safety concerns. This is in District 2, Egna community. Originally from Georgia, bought a house here in Gary. I believe in the Gary story. But my 3 concerns is I have a property. There's 2 properties across from a neighborhood, 5124 East 13th Ave and 1248 DeKalb Street. Somebody owns those properties over there and has not been maintaining any of the grass, anything that's going on there, the vacant lot, trash. And it's a concern to the community because, I mean, everybody in our neighborhood, we try to keep our grass clean, try to keep everything maintained in the neighborhood to bring people, investors in to invest in that community. Also, I have a concern too with Miller Beach Terrace. There's a lot of pedestrians in that area, that business. They do a lot of littering, a lot of crossing that street off of Milton Road and Clay Street, which is very, very dangerous. So I advise we put some type of crosswalk there because there's truck drivers flying through there and it could possibly hit and damage a building or hit someone. And that's my concern. And also the local pavement of the neighborhood. It's horrible. I literally have to fix my wife's car, my car. It's horrible. And I believe in this Gary story. I want things to happen good here. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. My mom herself is a councilwoman in Monroe, Georgia, District 4. So I would like to see improvement, and I'm with it.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Jocelyn Kelly, followed by...
Good evening, Jocelyn Kelly, 2601 Broadway. I come before you this evening very excited, representing the organization This Is Gary. We have coming up this week a celebration of all great things in Gary that will kick off on June 19th with a parade through Midtown. It's called the Midtown Fest. As we all know, there is a historic element about Midtown, and we're excited to be celebrating Midtown. So that parade will happen beginning at 3 p.m., beginning off of 15th and Broadway, heading west to Madison Street South to 21st Avenue, 21st Avenue to Harrison Street, and will end at Roosevelt Park, where we will have a car takeover car show. We're excited to welcome home Gary's own First Lady of House, Kim Mizell, who will be our Grand Marshal as well as performing that night. It is free to the public. The second day, we will be at 26th and Broadway, and we have the cook-off, which is co-sponsored by WLTH, the DJ Prime Minister of Music, Larry Jenkins, and this is a cook-off. So we are challenging all the Gary folks who say they got the best fried chicken, best barbecue, or best fish to come out. We've got monetary prizes, as well as another celebration of local talent. And it all concludes on Saturday, June the 21st, also at 26th and Broadway with the block party. Again, focusing on all of the great things. We're excited because Indiana University Bloomington has also taken part in these festivities, where we will be actually capturing histories, oral histories of people from Gary, so that we can get it cemented about the story of Gary told by Gary people, as opposed to people telling our stories. So again, the celebration kicks off on June 19th, and we'll be partying through the 21st. And again, this is Gary, and it's a celebration of all the great things, past, the present, and the future. And we're just asking the council for your support, as well as the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. Oh, I think this is, are you Mrs. Ruslowski? Following Mrs. Ruslowski, we'll be looking for Kathleen Harris and then L. Tyndall.
Can I start?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you. I live on the 800 block of Elkhart Street in Miller, and I represent our whole block because we have a great concern for our safety and possibly safety of our grandchildren when they come to visit. A man from Illinois purchased a house, and he plans to make a halfway house out of it. He has sealed off the basement, and there are going to be 3 people, from what we hear, 3 people at a time living there, so they would be using a heater. Anyway, which would be, I think, a violation of the building code. But also, he has not notified any of us. He has not written a letter, and I think that's a procedure so that the neighborhood knows what's going on their block. And that's one of our objections, that we haven't been notified, and we all object to that. Secondly, the building code, because of sealing off the basement and not getting heat from the basement. And the third, we don't know that it has been approved for zoning to be a halfway house. So that's why they sent me to come here to make our requests known. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ruslowski. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kathleen Harris.
Okay. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Good evening. My name is, I am Dr. Kathleen Harris. I am a proud graduate of Westside High School. And I'm back here in Gary now, and I wanted to tell you today about a program called Empowered Families. I am the program director, and it is an initiative rooted in the standing tradition of the Black church to lead movements for education and community empowered. I am joined today by Sandra Mosley, who Director of Organizational and Educational Leadership at Trinity United Church of Christ, where John E. Jackson Sr. is our pastor. And we proudly host this program. With the proposed efforts to dismantle the U.S. Department of Education and new state laws mandating third grade retention for students who fail standardized tests, the urgency is clear. These policies put even greater pressure on families already facing systemic barriers. Empowered Families is a free, can I say it again, free, because it's been hard to give away free stuff, okay? Free grant-funded program supported by Early Learning Indiana. It was created for us, by us to support our parents and caregivers of children from birth to age 3. We use a nationally recognized curriculum developed by the National Black Child Development Institute to deliver 12 weeks of culturally grounded, research-based training in child development, early literacy and math, health, family values, and community support. Participants receive a fully stocked backpack and up to $300 in gift cards and incentives, and they can receive a Chromebook if needed. But more importantly...
Thank you. That's
okay. Well, we want them to be their child's first teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harris. Ms. Tyndall.
Good afternoon, Council President Latham and council members, community members, and fellow attendees. Thank you, Councilwoman Brown, for your comments regarding the lack of sensitivity to the Garrick Sanitary District customers. And it seems that they are being disconnected from the personal touch that we think is necessary and would be appreciated by those of us who are paying for the services presented and provided by the Gary Sanitary District. My next point is regarding parks. I heard you mention something about a forum related to parks. I'm not sure, but it sounds like that plan for meeting is late. I would hope that for the next year, plans are made ahead of time to make sure that our parks are ready for use and enjoyment. I passed by a park on Fifth Avenue near Buchanan today. The swing sets are not functional. Seats are disconnected. Children were not present. We need to make sure that our parks are comparable to the parks in our neighboring cities, such as Griffith, Indiana, Central Park. Take a look. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Tyndall. Again, we have a number of members of staff here. I see our planner, our city attorney, our chief operating officer, our corporation counsel, our chief of staff. We have the council chief of staff. So everyone who approached the podium tonight with issues, there are folks here who, after the meeting, can help address your concerns. Now, Madam Clerk, council pending ordinances and resolutions on third and/or final reading.
CPO 2025-32, an ordinance reviewing a special use permit for property located at 2557 Colfax Street, Gary, Indiana, to be used to allow mechanical and auto body work. Sponsored by Gary Zoning Department, petitioner John Kulak, 2557 Colfax Street, Gary, Indiana.
Colleagues, is there a motion for passage of CPO 2025-32?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any in second? Overview? I believe Attorney Molina?
Good evening, President Latham and
Good
council
evening.
members. CPO 2025-32 is for a special use permit at the property located at 2557 Colfax Street. The petitioner is John Kulach. Mr. Kulach appeared before the Planning and Development Committee last week and also the week before that. This matter came before the Board of Zoning Appeals on May 8th, 2025, and by a unanimous 4-0 vote, received a favorable recommendation for a special use permit. The property is currently zoned as B31. Mr. Kulich wanted to add mechanical and auto body work at the property. In order to do so, he would need a special use permit. In making that decision, there are 7 factors that the council must consider. One, that the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the special use will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare. Two, that the special use will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other properties in the immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted. Three, that the establishment of the special use will not impede or substantially alter the normal or orderly development and improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. Four, the adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary facilities have been provided. Five, the adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide access, management, ingress, and egress to minimize traffic congestion on public roads. Six, that the special use will be located in a district where the use is authorized and all of the requirements set forth in the chapter which are applicable to the special use will be met. And the last one, that the petitioner did document and present to the board the proposed special use provides for the implementation of sustainable growth principles. The Board of Zoning Appeals, after reviewing those 7 factors, determined that this property does meet the special use. One of the reason why this came before the council committee twice is because there was a request to make an amendment and put some conditions on this property. That has been done in section 1, A and B. It requires the petitioner to install and maintain a privacy fence along the front portion of the premises facing Colfax Street. And that fence comply with all other city ordinances. And 2, that the petitioner may not store more than 10 inoperable vehicles on the premises at any given time. So that summarizes the requested special use on this property. I believe in your packets you do have some pictures that were updated. I know Mr. Kulach has told me that the picture that he has with a sign in the packet, he's now getting a new sign that will be ready tomorrow. So he's going to get a nicer sign, which he would use, obviously, if this is passed. Any questions?
Thank you, Attorney Molina. Colleagues, any questions or discussion? Councilman Whittington?
Thank you, Madam President. Attorney Molina, and to the petitioner, job well done. The comments that I made in regards to things I would like to see in the remainder of the city, not having more than 10 inoperable vehicles on the property at any given time. Thank you. And hopefully this sets a precedent going forward for the amount of auto body shops that we have that look like salvage yards. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members? Comments, questions? If not, before the roll call, Madam Clerk, I want to acknowledge that Councilman Mouse Tolliver has joined us and is present. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Madam President, there's an amendment to this.
It has been amended. Are those the things that you just expressed, the maximum number of cars?
Exactly. Yes, the
And those things that were
requirement of the
mentioned in the
fence,
amendment.
privacy fence, and the 10.
So at this point, thank you, Madam Clerk. At this point, we need to entertain a motion to amend by substitution CPO 2025-33.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. If no discussion, roll call on the amendment.
Councilwoman Brown? Councilwoman Caldwell? Yes. Councilman Halliburton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy?
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver? Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Councilman Whittington?
Yes.
President Latham?
Yes.
Madam President, the vote 7 yes, 1 no.
7 yes, 1 no. With a vote of 7 yes, 1 no, CPO 2025-32 has been amended. Now, is there a motion for passage?
So moved.
Move. Is there a second? It's been moved and second. If no other discussion, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Brown? Councilwoman Caldwell? Councilman Halliburton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy?
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver?
Yes.
Councilman Washington? Yes. Councilman Whittington?
Yes.
President Latham?
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. With a vote of 8-0, CPO 2025-32 has passed and is so ordered.
CPO 2025-33, an ordinance reviewing a special use permit for property located at 2601 East 15th Avenue, Gary, Indiana, to be used to allow light manufacturing activities related to auto body mounting, equipment, upfit, and repair. Sponsored by the Gary Zoning Department, petitioner Benjamin Ayala, 2601 East 15th Avenue, Gary, Indiana.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. CPO 2025-33 has also been amended. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to amend by substitution. Is that correct?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Attorney Molina, can you give an overview on the amendment?
Yes, and Council, there are a few amendments today. They're all related to the same thing. In the second whereas paragraph, the last sentence refers to the section 123-217. That's the section that this is under, that light manufacturing is. There was a typo in the original version presented, so it's merely just correcting a typo.
Thank you, Attorney Molina. Any questions or comments? This is for the amendment. Seeing none, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Brown. Councilwoman Caldwell.
Yes.
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver. Yes. Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Winston.
Yes.
President Latham.
Yes.
Madam President, vote is 8-0.
With a vote of 8-0, CPO 2025-33 has been amended by substitution. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for passage of CPO 2025-33.
So moved.
It's been moved in second. Any further discussion, questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Brown.
Yes.
Councilwoman Caldwell.
Yes.
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington. Yes. Councilman Winston.
Yes.
President Latham.
Yes.
Madam President, vote is 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. With a vote of 8-0, CPO 2025-33 is passed and is so ordered.
CPO 2025-34, an ordinance reviewing a special use permit for property located at 3930 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana, to be used as an auto dealership. Sponsored by the Gary Zoning Department. Petitioner is Eric Tony Smith, 3930 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana.
Madam President,
Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell.
I'd like to make a motion to send 2025-34 back to committee.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any other discussion? Councilman Washington?
Can we make a date for the actual meeting right now? Or do we wait? The committee meeting can establish a date right now? Okay, we would like to have this move to the Planning and Development Committee meeting with a meeting scheduled for Wednesday, June 24th, 2025 at 5:45 p.m. June 24th, 2025 at 5:45 p.m. Right before Madam President's Volusia Committee.
Sure. Sounds like it has been moved and second that CPO 2025-34 be moved back to committee with a Planning and Development Committee meeting on Tuesday, June 24th at 5:45. Seeing no other discussion, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes.
Councilwoman Brown. Councilwoman Caldwell.
Yes.
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Winston.
Yes.
President Latham.
Yes.
Madam President, vote is 8-0.
Thank you. With the vote of 8-0, CPO 2025-34 has been referred back to the Planning and Development Committee.
CPO 2025-37, an ordinance reviewing a special use permit for property located at 2658 East 21st Place to be used as a home daycare by petitioner Betty Cole Cummings, sponsored by the Gary Zoning Department. Petitioner Betty Cole Cummings, 2658 East 21st Avenue, Gary, Indiana.
Colleagues, is there a motion for passage of CPO 2025-37? Thank you, Councilwoman
Second.
Barnes Caldwell.
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Halliburton. It's been moved and second. Overview, Attorney Molina?
Thank you, President Latham. CPO 2025-37 is an ordinance regarding a special use permit for a home daycare by petitioner Betty Cole Cummings. The property is located at 2658 East 21st Place. This came before the Board of Zoning Appeals on May 8th, 2025. It received a favorable vote of 4-0 with giving a favorable recommendation to the council. As with all special use permits, there are 7 factors that have to be determined. In reviewing those 7 factors, the Board of Zoning Appeals found that the property did meet those factors. Ms. Cole Cummings has had a previous daycare that property got sold, and so she is operating or intends to operate, if she gets approved, a new daycare, which again would be a home daycare. The zoning currently is R2. This is an allowable use with this special use permit. So the recommendation from the BZA was that it be approved. If there's any specific questions, I'm certainly happy to answer those.
Thank you, Attorney Molina. Colleagues, any questions or discussion? I see the petitioner, Ms. Betty Cole Cummings, is also here. But if there isn't any other questions or discussion, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Brown. Councilwoman Caldwell. Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver. Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Winston.
Yes.
And President Latham.
Yes.
Madam President, vote is 8-0.
Thank you. With a vote of 8-0, CPO 2025-37 has passed and is so ordered.
CPO 2025-38, an ordinance reviewing a special use permit for property located at 4900 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana, to be used as an auto dealership by petitioner Amani Musla, sponsored by the Gary Zoning Department. Petitioner Amani Musla, 4900 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana.
Madam President.
Yeah, if I may, President Latham, the same amendment. There was a typo in that second whereas paragraph, and then the amendment is just reflecting the proper section 123-194.
Yes.
Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell.
Madam President, I would like to make a motion to send CPO 2025-38 back to committee.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any other discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Councilman Washington?
With that, move that ordinance back to the Planning and Development Committee with a meeting scheduled for Tuesday, June 24th, 2025 at 5:45 p.m.
Thank you, Councilman Washington. It's been moved in second that CPO 2025-38 is referred back to committee with the Planning and Development Committee meeting held on Tuesday, June 24th at 5:45 p.m. Seeing no other discussion, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Brown. Councilwoman Caldwell. Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy. Councilman Tolliver. Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Winston.
Yes.
President Latham.
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
Thank you. With a vote of 8-0, CPO 2025-38 has been referred back to committee with the committee meeting again Tuesday, June 24th at 5:45 p.m.
CPO 2025-39, an ordinance establishing weapon use and discharge regulations in the city of Gary, Indiana, Lake County, Indiana, prescribing penalties for violations hereof, as well as procedures and policies for same, and all matter related thereto, sponsored by Lori Latham, President of the Gary Common Council.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Colleagues, is there a motion for, we need to amend by substitution. There's an amendment with 2025-39. Okay, so we'll pass it first and then amend it I'll ask for, I'm not telling anybody to pass anything, Attorney Williams. Thank you. Thank you for that check. Colleagues, I will entertain a motion for passage of CBO 2025-39.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Withington and Linda Barnes-Caldwell. Is there a second? Thank you. We don't need to vote yet. No. Now, colleagues, I would entertain a motion that we amend by substitution CBO 2025-39.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Withington.
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Halliburton. Overview. Welcome, Attorney Morgan.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Per the suggestions that we got from the council at the previous meetings, especially Councilman Withington, we made a number of changes. The first change is that we created a Section 1 definition, so that caused the other sections to move down. In that definition section, we define what is an air gun or air rifle, what's a crossbow or bow, and then what is a firearm. And the firearm section also refers to Indiana Code 35-47-1 that also defines firearms. Then Section 2, which had previously been the top section, is virtually unchanged. I think we did add language about, I'll just read Section 2, which is the heart of the law. It should be unlawful for any person to shoot, fire, or discharge any firearm, air gun, air rifle, bow, or crossbow within the City of Gary municipal corporate boundaries. For purposes of this ordinance, the term firearm may be used interchangeably with the terms air gun, air rifle, bow, and crossbow. That last sentence was an addition. Those are the most significant changes, although we added, we took out the section about hunting, because the whole point of this, well, a large part of the goal of this is to not allow people to hunt in the natural areas we have in the city, because they're all near populated areas and it's just inherently dangerous. So other small changes is for the section that allows you to, fire a gun at a shooting range, skeet range, or gun club. You can do that within areas that are designated for that activity. Other than that, there were just some typos and things that we corrected, but I'm willing to take any questions that you have about the ordinance.
Thank you, Attorney Morgan. Any questions, comments, or discussion? Councilman Withington.
Thank you. My conservative friends are going to hate me, but I appreciate your due diligence. So thank you for the definition of air gun, air rifle, bow and crossbow, and firearm. Jocelyn was laughing because her son and I, my best friend back in the day, got in many trouble with BB and pellet guns. So I appreciate you for including that. I'm older and wiser now, so I know how dangerous they can be. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Withington. Any other colleagues, questions, discussion? If not, roll call. Madam Clerk. Thank you, Attorney Morgan.
Thank you so much.
Councilwoman Brown. Councilwoman Caldwell. Councilman Halliburton.
Yes. Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington.
Yes.
Councilman Wessington.
Yes.
President Latham.
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
Thank you. With the vote of 8-0, CPO 2025-39 has been amended by substitution. And now for a roll call vote on the for passage.
Councilwoman Brown. Councilwoman Caldwell.
Yes.
Councilman Halliburton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy.
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington. Councilman Wessington.
Yes.
President Latham.
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
Thank you. With the vote of 8-0, CPO 2025-39 has passed and is so ordered.
Madam President, is pending ordinances and resolutions on third and final.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Barnes-Caldwell.
I would like to untable CPO 2025-26.
It's been moved.
Seconded, but I need to know what we're doing here.
Right now, we're removing it off
the table.
It's been moved and second that CPO 2025-26 is removed from the table.
I second it.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Brown,
Yes.
Councilwoman Caldwell,
Yes.
Councilman Halliburton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy. Yes. Councilman Tolliver.
Yes.
Councilman Washington. Councilman Winsington.
Yes.
And President Latham.
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. With a vote of 8-0, CPO 2025-26 has been removed from the table. Is there now a motion for passage of CPO 2025-26?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Overview, it looks like Pastor Edwards is giving us the overview.
Yes. First of all, thank you, President Latham and Council.
Thank you. Is the mic on, Pastor Edwards?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all. This budget that is being passed is just one of the things that we're trying to do for code enforcement is to do our, let me just read off my notes. To support our technology and our cars, so that way we won't have to go back to the office. We can have a mobile office. We can write the citations in our cars. Also, reliable vehicles. The police department have been gracious enough to give us their old police cars, so that we can use those to properly go around and do what we have to do. And office equipment, as far as printing, and then also with the printing items to inform the public on what we have to do with, I'm sorry, y'all. Printed and office supplies, as far as computers in the office as well as in our cars. So we're getting computers that can have a docking station in the car and also go to the office and use that same computer with the monitor to do what we have to do. As you see, we use, community development have been gracious enough to give us uniforms. And we're one of the departments that have uniforms, so that way we can look like someone going out into the public, so we can be noticed of someone doing our job. And I have two of our staff, if I can. And once I get the rolling, I'm good. So, all right. So we have two of our staff that is just coming just to say something about code enforcement. We have, as of now, we have written over 1,000 tickets as of this year. And we are doing things that's, and when you talk about writing tickets, we're not just writing tickets just because someone calls us out. We're investigating, and not only investigating, we're doing proper investigation, so that way we don't write tickets because someone hates their neighbor. We are investigating that. So I just want to call two of our staff up, and this is our day term, and also we have our 4 to 12, which is police officers, and our weekend officers. So, you're welcome. Let me see. This is Officer Warren, Sade Warren, and then Officer Brock, and my deputy director. So, it won't be long.
Hello, my name is Officer Sade Johnson Warren, and I have the pleasure of serving Linda Barnes Caldwell. I'm sorry, Councilwoman Linda Barnes Caldwell in the 5th District of the city, of this great city of Gary. My director already talked about the number of citations. But this year so far, and this is just a 6-month in, we've done 1,034 versus last year from January 2nd to December 30th of 24, we wrote 1,543 citation tickets. We are going into training i.e. as in tactical training. We're going through things like that. My director is pressing upon us because he wants us out here on the streets able to defend ourselves, because we want to get home just like you want to get home at night. We have reliable transportation, because I remember when I was hired in December of 21, there was 6 code enforcement officers. 4 of us was hired in December of 21, and there were 6 officers sharing 2 hand-me-down Crown Vics. So now we each have a city vehicle to do our jobs with and to go about our districts and do what we need to do. Our code enforcement officers, we investigate 54,000 square miles in the city of Gary, and there is 1 code enforcement officer for each district. We didn't even have that when I joined in 2021. So these are just some of the great accomplishments that we have come with in the city of Gary since I've been here going on my 4 years. This is a new, there's a word, and I can't even think of the word, but this is administration. This is a new administration, and I'm proud to serve with this administration. I'm proud to serve the city of Gary. I'm a Roosevelt graduate, and I'm loving seeing my city come up clean. Officer Brock?
Nobody's perfect. She's a Roosevelt graduate, but that's okay. Nobody's perfect.
We bleed black and gold up in here. We bleed.
All right. How you doing, Council? I'm Paul Brock. I'm kind of tall, so I'm gonna hold it. I'm a code enforcement officer for the 6th District. My councilman is not here today, but it's Dwight Williams. I just want to speak on the morale of the team that when we came in with the new administration and with the council, we came up, excuse me, but the morale was down for a while. You know what I'm saying? We had a bad turnaround for a while, but now under Edwards, the morale is up. We have direction. We actually have plans with the 16-week cleanup we're doing right now. This was originally brought into play by Edwards with code enforcement, and then it was implemented to the city. So this is a plan that we came up with, and we're attacking it full force. We got, like I said, we have our day shift and our night shift, and we're just doing the best we can, with the numbers that we do have. So we just want to appreciate the council, and I just want to let you know that we're doing our best out here in the city.
All right, and just to let you know that we're just not doing anything. We have a plan. We're operating off with the mayor's vision, and we came in with a plan to do what we have to do. And last but not least, can I let all of our staff just introduce themselves, because we're doing big things.
Robert Brinston Jr., Deputy Director of Code Enforcement, also District 1 and parts of District 6. Thank you, City Council.
Hello, Council. I'm Chris Hall. I'm the officer for the 4th District. Thank you, guys.
Good evening, Council and citizens of Gary. This is Officer Robert Dodson, 3rd District.
Thank you.
So I'm the guy that you call whenever you can't call nobody.
Hello, I'm Keith Duddy. I'm the night shift supervisor, and as police officers, we work all districts, so we're here for everybody.
Officer Gutierrez, 4 to 12 shift, also an investigator, out here trying to do the best for the city.
I'm Officer Dixon, also investigator, night shift.
And thank you all for your attention, and I'm a Roosevelt graduate.
And council, the second portion of the budget is the supplemental. The supplemental is the payback for the 108 loan, as well as to produce the annual caper for HUD, as well as, that's it. The payback for the 108 loan projects, as well as the caper completion, which is, again, it's not necessarily city money. It's HUD money going back to HUD.
Thank you. And thank you to all of you for everything that you do in service to our city. Thank you. Even the Roosevelt graduates, we thank you too. Thank you, Chief. Colleagues, any questions? Any discussion?
No, we're just delighted to see them. I'm just happy to know that we have one in every district. Thank you so much. Thank you, Officer Edwards. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Councilman Tolliver.
I would just like to say I appreciate Officer Edwards. Your mic.
Mike.
Can you hear me? Okay. I want to say that I appreciate Officer Edwards and the code enforcement. I enjoy the conversations that we have at City Hall. Got a nice relationship with Mr. Brock. You all are doing a terrific job. It's a very hard job. And I appreciate you all going out every day to make sure that our city's clean and everybody's up to code. So congratulations to you all.
Any other colleagues?
Madam President,
Councilwoman Ivy.
I'd like to say I appreciate you all as well, and thank you. Thank you to my 4th District officer. Thank you, Mr. Edwards, for all of the communication and promptly. I appreciate it, and I'm so glad Ms. Sade got some help because a couple years ago, she was rough, but she got some help, and she is excellent, and you guys are doing a great job.
Madam President,
Thank you, colleagues. Councilman Halliburton.
I just want to say that your position in the city is very important, and the people are saying that. So thank you all for your work. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Brown? Yes. Councilwoman Caldwell?
Yes.
Councilman Halliburton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy?
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver? Yes. Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Councilman Whittington?
Yes.
President Latham?
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
Thank you. With the vote of 8-0, CPO 2025-26 has passed and is so ordered. Thank you. Thank you. Madam Clerk, council pending ordinances and resolutions on second reading.
CPR 2025-05, a resolution in support of declaring June as Men's Health Month in the city of Gary, Indiana, sponsored by Linda Barnes Caldwell, Councilwoman of the 5th District.
Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell.
Madam President, I would like to suspend the rules and pass CPR 2025-05 on all 3 readings.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we suspend the rules to pass CPR 2025-05 on all 3 readings. Roll call on the suspension of the rules.
Councilwoman Brown?
Yes.
Councilwoman Caldwell?
Yes.
Councilman Halliburton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy?
Yes.
Councilman Tolliver? Yes. Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Councilman Whittington?
Yes.
President Latham?
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
With a vote of 8-0, CPR 2025, with a vote of 8-0, the rules have been suspended to pass CPR 2025-05 on all 3 readings. Want to give the overview, Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell?
Yes. This resolution is in support of or declaring the June as Men's Health Month in the city of Gary. If you look around, you will see most of my colleagues are in blue today. Blue represents men's health. So thank you all for participating. So whereas despite advances in medical technology and research, men continue to experience higher rates of death from most of the leading causes of death compared to women, including heart disease, cancer, and unintentional injuries. And whereas the purpose of Men's Health Month is to promote healthy living through exercise, good nutrition, and regular medical checkups, and to encourage men and boys to take control of their health. And whereas the Gary Common Council is committed to promoting wellness and preventive care for all of its residents, including programs and initiatives aimed at improving men's health and reducing disparities in health care access and outcomes. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Gary Common Council of the City of Gary, Indiana, that the month of June 2025 is hereby recognized as Men's Health Month in the City of Gary. That the Gary Common Council encourages all citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to increase awareness in men's health issues, promote healthy lifestyles, and support preventative health efforts among men and boys. That's mine.
Thank you. Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell. Any discussion, colleagues? Councilman Tolliver.
Yes, I would like to thank you, Councilman Barnes Caldwell, for, I'm sorry, we sharing went down here, I apologize. They forgot about me. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Councilwoman Barnes Caldwell, for acknowledging this. Men do go through a lot, and it's about time that we do make sure that we prioritize our health and make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, because we want to make sure that the women in our lives and our community can see us for a very long time. So thank you so much for thinking about us.
Thank you. I echo those sentiments. Health is wealth. Any other colleagues? Seeing none. Roll call, Madam Clerk. This is for passage of CPR 2025-05.
Councilwoman Brown?
Yes.
Councilwoman Caldwell? Yes. Councilman Halliburton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ivy? Yes. Councilman Tolliver?
Yes.
Councilman Washington?
Yes.
Councilman Whittington?
Yes.
And President Latham?
Yes.
Madam President, the vote is 8-0.
Thank you. With a vote of 8-0, CPR 2025-05 has passed and is so ordered.
Madam President, is pending ordinances and resolutions on second reading.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, we'll have our reports and questions from city officials. I'd also just like to note many members of the staff are also here dressed in blue, so thank you.
Good evening, Madam President and Stream Council. Just want to quickly address a couple things that were brought up. Councilwoman Brown's brought up the GSD location. We were informed that GSD put notice in everybody's bill statement as well. In regards to that location, you are able to make your payments, GSD payments, at City Hall. So the location downtown, at City Hall Finance Department. Our finance department is able to receive payments on behalf of GSD. It still gets to GSD. All the communication is to GSD in regards to those notice. So in regards to it, and then we'll be installing that drop box now in front of City Hall on City Hall property. The lease was up at 504.
Have a drop box.
Yeah, so they'll have the drop box as well as still an in-person, real live person you can see right in City Hall, at City Hall in the finance department. So they will come to the clerk's desk and make that same payment as they did in that GSD location. So we still have that downtown location, but also this location is available as well.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. And then also to the comment that was brought up earlier, I was able to check the system. Our Corey Sharp was able to verify this. 815 Elkhart Street, the owner was cited on April 29th for working without a permit and summoned to court by our lovely code enforcement team. And we have the code number if any of the council would like that information. And then we also verified that this use is not permitted at that location via zoning. And no sought approval was done to the City of Gary, the Planning Department, or Zoning Department. So again, we had no knowledge, nor did the city as a whole officially approve and or authorize this type of use at that location. We just encourage the public that if they see something that seems strange, continue to report it. It is a very large city. We need every set of eyes and ears that we can, and making sure that people are doing things the right way. Even if you say you reported it, report it again. And hold us accountable to making sure we're being responsive to give you that update. So I just wanted to make sure I respond to those two things. For the sake of time, I'll save any other updates for another time.
Thank you, Chief Dumas. Any other questions for our city officials? Councilman Washington?
Yeah, Chief of Staff Dumas and maybe Ms. Morgan can answer this, Attorney Morgan. The council we got letters regarding an issue with GSD with landlords being, I guess, for back pay when residents who previously rented didn't pay rent. And so now there's this big thing going on about, and I know it's a statute, and I know we were wondering what in the world is going on with this scuttlebucket about landlords being billed back 2 and 3 years for something that is the fault of the actual renter.
So, as you all, I think, are aware, GSD is under a consent decree. They've been under a consent decree from the federal court for actually a few decades. That consent decree was updated in 2016 and again in 2018. One of the big issues with it is that there were up to $19 million in uncollected delinquent bills from people who are using the sanitary district services. And so, as you're aware, leadership at GSD has changed within this last year. And, the EPA and the Justice Department is on GSD constantly. They have several teams calls a month to go over the things that they have to come into compliance with. And one of those big issues is the fact that we have an outlandish amount of delinquent accounts that hadn't previously been collected. So they have no choice but to go after those delinquent accounts. Now, neighboring cities, sanitary districts, the norm is that the bills are in the name of the property owner. And so GSD is moving to that model because you have something you can collect against. You can lien the property, you can do that kind of thing. And contrary to what some folks have said, it doesn't drive up the rents. Landlords in those jurisdictions just pass the cost on to, when you pay your rent, you've also got to pay your utility bill just the same as you would if it was directly in your name. So because they are forced by this consent decree to come into compliance and do a much, much better job at collections, GSD really doesn't have a choice. I know that upsets a lot of landlords, but it's like everyone who pays their bill on time has been carrying everybody who isn't paying the bill at all. That's not fair to people, and what that's done is caused a lot of delayed maintenance. So whereas you get people whose basements are flooding because of delayed maintenance from GSD, you get street flooding because the sewers aren't adequate to handle our rainfall, especially when there's a cloud burst. That's attributable to that $19 million that wasn't collected. So they don't have a choice. They have to proceed this way. People aren't happy with this transition period. Well, people, and I understand, I've heard things from landlords, they're really not happy in some cases about their own delinquent bills now being made to pay those. The law lets GSD go back 3 years for the uncollected bills, and so they're doing that. And people are very upset because they're not used to enforcement. A lot of people have been used to, honestly, kind of piggybacking on everybody here who's paying your bills on time, that you're carrying them. And so it's a new day. They don't have a choice. But good things that are coming is because they're coming to compliance, we're able now to get money from the Indiana Finance Authority that we weren't eligible for. Because we were not in compliance, they were leaving $5 million a year on the table in grant money that we couldn't get because we weren't doing what the EPA and the federal court has ordered us to do. So again, there are growing pains with this, but GSD didn't have any choice. And mind you, what had been happening in the past is GSD had been paying penalties for not being into compliance with the federal court order, which meant we were just throwing money out the window. Those penalties that were being paid should have gone to improving infrastructure here. So again, that's the information. If you have other questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Attorney Morgan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Washington. Any other questions for city officials? Seeing none, is there a motion for adjournment? So moved.
Can you get these to Latham? Can you get these to Latham? These are no, they just laid it over.